Welcome back to the Youth Academy Road to Glory. It is a new season in a new division. We're in the Premier League after winning the playoff final last season in yesterday's episode. Spoiler alert. We are in the top flight for the first time. You can see our new home kit on your screen there. Very nice indeed. We have aspirations. Oh, there's our old kit actually there. We have aspirations of survival, but with the squad as it stands at the minute, to starting lineup as you see it there, whether we get survival or not is certainly in question at this stage. No plans on buying anyone. We're going to be very bullish in the transfer window. We've just got promoted. Unless they are a very elite club, nada. These squads earn the right to have a crack at the Premier League. And have a crack at the Premier League, I plan on letting them have. So our objectives for this season are going to be important, both fan and board. We have fan objectives as well, of course. So, three-player, well, we'll do both of those. Defensive young players and players with potential. That will get done. 10 clean sheets this season. Notably, that's all competitions. I don't know if we'll get that one. One crucial first-team player assigned to a midfield or forward position. At present, like I say, no plans on actually buying anyone. Again, within the same season, signed two crucial players, we're not going to do that. They just want me to avoid relegation, which is fine. I think we can do that. I hope we can do it. It might only be 17th, but I hope we can do that. Again, round of 16 of the FA Cup. Mid-table within 2 years, and obviously no continental football for us yet. With regards to fan objectives this season, no more than 8 defeats at home in the league. Last year, we were sensational at home and had the best defensive record and the best home record of the entire division. We want to keep Patreon Park as a fortress. We have upgraded the ground, though. Roofs all round, and we've gone from 10,000 to 19,000 as a capacity. The traditional golden mark is 40 points. That's what we'll aim for, thanks to Danny Brooks. Nacho Salinas was sensational last year, will continue to grow this year, but can he do it at the top level? 20 goal contributions expected of him this season. We haven't had any luck whatsoever with scoring goals from range, so 3 finesse shots to go in from outside the box this year as a left field option. Hopefully with players as they improve, we might stand a chance of doing that. Now, new division means new local rivals, because Derby haven't come up with us, Mansfield haven't come up with us, Burton haven't come up with us. So Leicester are very close to Nottingham. Nottingham Forest is still in the Premier League, and AFC Chesnoid is based in Nottingham, so they're a local rival. And the third closest is Aston Villa. And then, on a personal note, win the managerial award for Manager of the Month at least once throughout the course of the season. I don't know if I've actually ever won any Manager of the Month. So I can have a look at the My Career tab. Manager of the Month awards, none. Manager of the Month awards, none. Manager of the Month awards, none. 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 So I have never won a Manager of the Month. Okay. Well, now's the time then in the Premier League, isn't it? So we have new scouts out looking, as we say, 5-star, 4-star scouts. Brazil. Now that we're in the Premier League, we're scouting globally. Germany, and currently, Mikhail is finishing his scouting session in England, and then I will send him to either Africa or Asia. Haven't yet decided where. Maybe you guys can give me some input in the comment section down below. Thank you for your patience in waiting for this first episode. Of course, there were no videos over the weekend, but we crack on now on Monday, and hopefully, with our first 3 games of the Premier League season today, and the end of the transfer window, at least that's the initial plan, Southampton, West Ham and Arsenal. Things are going to work slightly differently with regards to the games we play this season, as we've always done in the past 2 or 3 years, when in a Road to Glory series, or coming from somewhere that is below the Premier League. First season at this level, we simulate games against the Big Six. Only for the first season in the Premier League. So as a result, we will not be going for this first season. For the first time, I'm going to change it up as well. We're not going to go month at a time. So here I will play Southampton, play West Ham, sim Arsenal. Sim Man United, play Leicester, play Newcastle. That one makes sense, sim Tottenham. Here, it'll be play Brighton, sim City, play Leeds, Sim Chelsea play Brentford all in one episode, and etc, etc throughout the course of the season. So we might get through the season slightly quicker than we ordinarily do, but that can only be a good thing, can't it? So let's see how things progress. Transfer budget increase. Immediately a bid for Salinas, but as we say, we're going to be very, very bullish with all of our players. Unless they are the elite of the elite, which Sevilla and Dusseldorf are not, they're not going anywhere. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what my scouts can come up with this season as well, now that they are almost as good as they can possibly get. Survival in the Premier League is the main aim. We take it one match day at a time. Obviously, as well, because we're now in the Premier League, we're not in a tracksuit. We've gone more professional. We're in a suit. Your boy's wearing a full brown piece. Loanies on their way out, which is good. We'll see them grow and hopefully come back stronger. We've got a number of players that are on the fringes of being considered for the first team. McLean is a player I want to get out of the club, though, so we will accept that bid. Thank you very much. And more position changes for youngsters. So Ethan Martin from CDM to right mid. 64 up from 57. That's more like it, isn't it? As soon as Roy turns 16, he's getting called up to the first team squad and will be loaned out as well. Now, Esteban Lopez is going from a 60 rated centre forward to a 65 rated centre back. Now that is more like it. Ball playing defender, or yeah, we'll go ball playing defender. And I'm going to call him up and look to loan him out immediately as well. So you can see here as well, I'll be able to show you then what our kits look like this season. So that is the home kit. You see it there. The away kit in the red as well with yellow. And a third kit that looks very Jamaican-esque in its colour scheme. And I friggin' love that. That home kit's pretty sexual as well. It's the gold accents. Got a thing for gold accents, I really do. So, pre-season friendlies, we're just going to zip through. So the squad, as you see it there, is now growing a little bit with Baka up to 75, Bustamante 72. A handful of players have peaked, but the majority have had their development plans refreshed and are going again this season. How about Brazil? Brazil! Kleber Fernandez! The very first scouted player. Oh, he's a goalkeeper, though! You bastard! Why have you got to be a goalkeeper? How's your luck? 1.8 Pedro Branco. 1.8 million. 1.8 million Igor Ferreira. Where has Brazil been all my life? Jogo Bonito! Wow! What the shit just happened there then? 67 rated Kleber Fernandez. And we'll send you out on loan as soon as we can. Oh my god! I can't believe this just happened. Igor Ferreira! Crossing is decent. Trying to improve his passing. He's probably not a winger though with his lack of pace. Oh, actually, his pace isn't bad. Or winger or midfielder, I'm not sure. Certainly we want to improve his passing though. So let's get him growing as soon as we can. And Pedro Branco. Again, some pace, good agility and balance. Certainly need to get his passing up as well. But there is promise there too. Oh, I need to calm down a little bit. Oh, vamos Brazil! Let's go! Patrick Clark is off to MLS, to Portland Timbers. The squad is thinning. We've got a number of players that we wanted to get out gone, either sold or loaned, and there's still more to come with sales or loans. More growth, Fleming up to 71, and it did say that Novak was on his way back. So I'm going to throw Novak in, McDonald to the bench, and we are growing. You can see how the squad has thinned quite considerably. So we're about to get to our game against Southampton. We are about to make our Premier League debut against the team that I'm managing on the second channel, which is rather apt, and the team that no longer in real life is going to be Premier League. Oh my god, what happened with them? Oh, matey on the right-hand side's had a terrible day. Right, I will see you at St Mary's. Southampton, Edouard Mendy in goal. Abner, Joloy, Medina and Samikas at the back. Florentino and Guillamon holding with Pedro Neto, Jim Jams, Martin Terrier, and Patreon player Aidan Calhoun, 86 rated, up top. That Southampton side is about the same sort of level as mine on the second channel. How good does this third kit look, by the way? This alternate kit is sensational. Unfortunately, Novak still not quite back and available to play. So, McDonald is back on the right-hand side. Edwards sat behind Salinas and Fleming on the left, as you would have expected it. Let's go, boys. Premier League debut. Here's Calhoun. Nice little 1-2, or attempt anyway, but failed. McDonald, round the outside comes Ferreira. Into Edwards. Salinas getting away. Nacho! Woo! It's a dream start to the Premier League away from home at St Mary's. Nacho! Salinas gives us a 1-0 lead. Can you believe it already? Oh, nicely picked off by Ferreira, and Calhoun throws himself in there. That is surely at least a yellow card for the Canadian. Ball played down the line into him, and he could set his teammate up. I'd have been furious. Doesn't help the referee's wearing black, I've just noticed. That's going to be a pain in the bum. Aiden's got a bit of pace. Can he hold off Mitch? He can. Oh, but he can't finish. A one-on-one for the man up top that he's not tucked away. That's a poor finish. It's James Ward-Prowse. Forward to Calhoun. Options on either flank. Decided to go solo and then short to James Ward-Prowse. Terrier can't get there with Ferreira. Simikas forward from left back. Could deliver across. He's kicked it straight at Ferreira, thankfully. And now, because he was a left back, he's out of position. Is their ambition to get back in the game going to come back to bite them? It might do. Nacho's gotten away from the defender. He's on his own here, Nacho Salinas. Oh, and it's a stupendous save from Edouard Mendy. That's the calibre of goalkeeping we haven't faced so far in the RTG. In the Championship and all other EFL leagues, that had gone in. Corner for us. Yellow card finally dished out to their striker. Fleming! Oh my God! Could he have hit that any sweeter? Oh, if that goes into the top corner, that's the best goal I think I might well have ever scored. Murphy with a switch. Southampton have pressed the switch, the pressing switch. But it's not worked for them yet. Ferreira's delivery not great. It'll be a throw-in for us. Substitutions for us and for them, I think, as well. James Ward-Prowse coming off for them. For Ante Rebic, well. And Kai Connick makes his Premier League debut. The long-awaited Samaras Branco's just come off the bench as well. The young Brazilian potential. I wouldn't say wonder kid, actually, because his potential window was actually only as high as 84, whereas the others were much higher. But still, the young Brazilian higher valued player. Maybe he's higher valued just purely because he's bloody Brazilian. That's not gone well for me, but thankfully it hit their arm. 15 minutes to go. We still lead at St Mary's. Nicely done by Baz. Not so nicely done by Baz. Good save by Richardson. Barry, you need to be better than that, mate. Can't afford to make mistakes like that at this level too often. Sekou Mara on for them now as well, as surely they've changed formation. They're not going to play Sekou Mara out on the wing, are they? Oh, dearie me, he's come on. He's had the header immediately from the corner and nearly finds an equaliser. My guy looks great in a brown suit, by the way. Wide, I was supposed to go down the line. Never mind, Branco is there. Oh, sorry, Branco, as it's probably pronounced. Salinas, oh, pulling the trigger to seal the dub at 2. Not to worry. One's enough. Well, my other current club, you weren't very good there. Welcome to the Premier League. 3 points on the board. Stop the count, lads. Stop the count. AFC Cheese, top of the table. It was the first game of the Premier League season, not just for us, but for the Premier League. Don't expect that to last for long. Aruka have bid for Rory Kennedy. Now, I am open to letting Rory Kennedy go. So, Rory looks like he's off. Ziegler's done his position change already. Is he better as a left-back? Only by 1 at 60. Not sure about this German Ziegler guy, but we'll wait and see how well he grows. West Ham United arrive at a newly renovated Patreon Park. Dano, Joe Gomez, Klosterman, Maguire and Miranda sit in front of Alphonse Areola. Declan Rice and Scott Underwood. Mine Samuel Illing Jr. Evan Ilson and Bino Gittens. Scott Underwood, another Patreon player, playing against us here in our first home game of the newly renovated team, with Novak back in the starting lineup for the first time in 7 months, and our new fresh home kit getting its first outing. Evan Nielsen, oh, wild. Just a chance from nothing for West Ham after 5 minutes. He's clearly furious with himself, as he quite rightly should be. That was absolutely awful. Fleming has left Declan Rice for dead, and then killed our possession dead. Oh, he's so quick, Eiling Jr. I can't cope with him at the minute. He's ripping me apart. Samaras intercepts that from Declan Rice, and we will clear it, but we've been under more pressure in the opening half an hour here than we were in all 90 plus minutes against Southampton. I think Fleming missed that, but by doing so he put the defender off, and it actually worked in my favour. Look for Samaras here, who's made a good run, but Declan Rice intercepts, unfortunately, and continually we are struggling to really mark our territory here. Bino Gittens is in behind, and Richardson, with a fantastic diving save, ensures that our clean sheet remains intact for now, but they are looking likely of scoring, West Ham. Millington Dano, all driven in. Good block by Baka from Junior's effort. First half stoppage time here for West Ham United in front of their travelling fans. Can they take what would probably be a deserved 1-0 lead? The answer is no, and that will be half time in a minute. That hit a hand, but it must have been just inside the box, because Harry Maguire's effort from distance doesn't lead to a free kick or a goal. 0-0 at half time. We're having to do a lot of defending here. Rice. Oh, it's nicely done. Here's Underwood. He's got options. He's going for goal from distance. It's comfortable enough for Richardson. That wasn't meant for you. It was meant for him. Through the gap to Underwood. And into Junior. And Evan Nielsen. And Junior is wide. Oh, God. Under so much pressure. Fleming. Oh, McMillan was in. He's committed forward. And now he's out of position. And Bino Gittens has options here. We wouldn't necessarily deserve the defeat for how well we've defended in the game. And we won't get it because Ruben Richardson is the man. A 0-0 draw at Patreon Park. A second point-scoring outing for our team. And a back-to-back clean sheets in the Premier League so far. Although I certainly wasn't far away from losing it in that one. But, I mean, we have to be thrilled with the start to the season so far. Bradford City next in the Cup, which we'll play. And then it'll be Simmed Arsenal at the end of the month before transfer deadline day. Bradford City, Harry Lewis in goal. Former Cambridge man Bradley Halliday at right back. Former Cambridge loanee Emmanuel Osadebe in the midfield. Alex Gillard in there as well. We've obviously played Bradford at some point in our history. But with a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, even with a number of first-team players rested, this team should still certainly be of enough quality to reach the latter stages of this knockout competition, if the draw is kind to us. So we will try and reach the latter stages of this knockout competition. Oh my God, Murat Cem, he's offside. He's got to be offside. He's so far offside, Royer. You must have known that, surely. It's a good finish, but that was 5 yards off. Come on, pal. You're better than that, surely. Oh, it's a sharp turn by Osadebe. It's nicely done. And Royer. Oh, and that's nicely done too. Clement, 1-0 Bradford. The left back just dropped 10 yards more than he needed to. Clement there would have been so far offside, just like Royer was before, if he just lets him go. But he just runs back there without actually being anywhere near him. Plays him 10 yards onside. Thanks, McMillan, mate. You're really good, pal. 1-0 Bradford. Oh, Kai's intercepted that. It's poor from them. Novak's onside here. Fleming's arriving. Back to Philip. Novak. Brilliant finish. We are level against Bradford City. All coming from a mistake from them. I thought maybe I'd overplayed it a little bit. Nope. Found Royer. Gibbons. Oh, he's done me. He's absolutely sold me there, Royer. Thankfully, his shot's terrible. But he left me for dead there. Bloody hell. Ferreira looking for Kai. Go on then. Finesse from outside the box. And that is why the fan objective is going to be really hard to get. Novak. Over the top to Fleming. Look at the run from the middle. Who's that? He's offside. It's Hutchison. He's buried it beautifully, but it's not going to count. A run from CDM. Oh, I was sure he was offside. That must have been so tight. I could have sworn he was off. I've very luckily somehow managed to time that right, but it is not through skill. It's a good finish, though. Very tidy finish. Well, time's running out in the half, so I might as well go for it. Holy moly. Well, it wasn't a finesser, but it was from outside the box. Hutchison. Okay. That was the old school floater that just doesn't come down until the very last minute. I mean, you're telling your defenders to have a go, but you probably should have done better with that, Harry. Get back on your line, son. Only shot because time was out. Actually, I'm sorry, Keeps. You stood no chance with that. That's a worldie. Chapman. Lovely ball into Roy, who's taken it excellently first time. And finished it just as well. All right, Bradford. You've not done anything offensively since your goal, really, of any real note, but that was particularly impressive. This first touch to leave the defender behind was brilliant. And the finish, well, Richardson probably would have saved it, but still, take nothing away from it. Can only play against what's in front of you. What's in front of him was a 68 rated Houghton who couldn't keep it out. Kai lifts it for Salinas. Takes in his stride well, shows some good strength, shrugs off everybody. Salinas is proving that he's Premier League quality, but he can't find the pass to give us a fourth to seal it for sure. But we won't need a fourth because the final whistle's going to go. And with slight overreaction from the fans, we're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. We will take on who knows in the next round, but hopefully it's someone of Bradford's quality so we can keep up the amount of football we're going to be giving to the fringe players to keep them ticking over so their potential doesn't take a hit. But let's be honest, I'm going to have to start my strongest lineup every bloody week in the Premier League, aren't I? We're going to reject that for McDonald's. I don't think I can quite afford to let anybody else go at the particular moment in time. So Arsenal will be simulated on the 29th. My voice is nearly on its way out, so thankfully the end of the episode isn't that far away. Arsenal haven't really pulled any punches here. Ramsdale, Dest, Ibanez, Militao, Grimaldo, Tonali, Dada, Miretti, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. If they don't win this by 3 or 4 goals, and they'll be complacent if they don't win this convincingly, Arsenal. In the box, Saka, Jesus. 1-0 Arsenal. And it begins, 24th minute. Well, that wasn't the best of clearances, was it? Might have been, actually. Gabby Jesus that got onto that. Miretti makes it 2 in the 39th minute. And looks like we will be losing to Arsenal, but did you really expect anything else? Well, that was nice. I think it was Gabriel Jesus just lifted that over the defender, Dennis Bergkamp style, to then set up Dada for the third. I said if Arsenal didn't win by 3 or 4, then they'd have gotten complacent and it wasn't a good enough performance. Well, they heard me, and they certainly weren't complacent here. We might get one back. We haven't. It's 4. Oh, we got one back! Angelos Samaras scores at the Emirates. Nice. Not nice enough to do anything other than give us a consolation goal, but you never know. At the end of the season, goal difference could be important, and losing by 3 and not by 4 might actually be very, very important. Wait and see how the season develops. Just because we've started brightly against Southampton and West Ham doesn't mean it's going to continue, does it? It's going to be a 4-1 defeat against Arsenal at the Emirates. Not to worry. Plenty of goals around the grounds today, though. It's a transfer deadline day. Bernardo Silva currently the biggest move of the day, with £63.4 million changing hands between Bayern Munich and Tottenham Hotspur. Certainly a decent signing for Spurs, even at 32 for Bernardo Silva. Joao Felix might be coming to the Premier League. Or back to the Premier League again, I guess. Atleti to Arsenal. Wait and see how things develop. Hakimi leaving Liverpool to go to Valencia is the rumoured deal. Djibril Sow is the second biggest deal on deadline day now, but I guarantee there have been some bigger ones throughout the course of the window. Ismail Benacer leaves Chelsea to go to Leverkusen for 64.9, and now the biggest deal of the day that's immediately eclipsed by first Achraf Hakimi from Liverpool to Valencia, and then Joao Felix for 100 million and 100,000. Why not just 100 million? Is it really worth putting an extra 100 grand on there? Let's be honest. Oh, dearie me. With 6 hours to go, no bids for our players, but we're happy enough with that. There's a regen there. Slovenian 22-year-old. I think that might be a Handanovic regen, don't you? Nicolo Barella now the biggest deal of transfer deadline day from Inter to Borussia Dortmund. I'm not looking to let anyone else go at this stage. Thank you very much. And Kian McCloskey is now back from his injury, which is good news, because he can now come onto the bench in place of Houghton. Hutchison did very well in that last game, actually, and might have earned himself a spot on the bench for the next Premier League fixture. We'll wait and see. But for now, we're going to finish transfer deadline day. And no other big ones yet. 3 hours to go. A lot been spent on deadline day, though. For sure. There's no running total now, though, is there? A bid from Royal Antwerp for Samurai. So, other than the one from Napoli, we haven't really had any bids from any side that you'd even think about selling to. And Napoli aren't the side that have the massive draw. They're not the elite yet. If they do what they've done in real life this year for the next 2 or 3, then absolutely you could consider them one of the elite, but I don't personally think they are at this stage. So that's the end of the transfer window. Let me show you the biggest deals of the window all told. I'm sure there were some bigger ones than we saw there. Only one, actually, by £200,000. Yeremy Pino to Leicester. That's annoying. Imagine a side coming up from the Championship in real life and then immediately spending £100 million on someone. Mental. James Ambrose has moved to Fulham from Real Sociedad. That's a Patreon player move for £96.6 million. Jadon Sancho to Spurs. Adeyemi to Real Madrid. Sunset to Juventus. Nunez to Atleti. Kirk to Sociedad. AJ to Nottingham Forest, so now he plays for our local rivals. We played against him for Sheffield United last season. We may well be playing against him again for Nottingham Forest this. Ruben Neves has finally left Everton. Wesley Fofana to Juve. Kenneth Taylor to Southampton. Carlos Soler has moved within the Premier League. Jovanovic, a centre mid to Augsburg. Croatian, you know who he's going to be a regen of then. Benacer to Leverkusen, Joao Pedro to Spurs. He's moved to Brighton in real life, Joao Pedro from Watford. Evan Nilsson we played against today, although he didn't score. Bernardo Silva still 88 rated. Yeah, he's a bit good. Ugarte to Milan. Lenormand, Conor Gallagher to Brighton. Pellegrini to Leeds. Hurlen is a player that gets recommended quite a lot. He's bloody rapid and he looks like he's pretty blooming good as well. Jordan Millward to Celta Vigo. That's another Patreon player move. We'll have an update of that list right at the very end of the episode. But for now, Beto's a good player as well. Left Leicester to go to FC Bayern München. Mohamed Ali Cho goes to Stade de Reims. There you go. That's the overall transfer window for everybody in this particular moment. I'm going to go and update my Patreon player spreadsheet and I'll show you that right at the very end and we'll see who has moved where. But for now, I leave you 11th in the Premier League after 1 month's worth of effort. That's not bad. I'd certainly take 11th at the end of the season. Spoiler alert, probably not going to finish as high as 11th by the end of the season. Hopefully you've enjoyed episode 1. If you have, drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I imagine only really the Patreon members will be fussed about the next bit. So for those of you that don't stick around for the ending, however much, I'll see you tomorrow. And Patreon players, I shall see you in a moment. So Patreon-wise, 4 players have made moves this window. AJ's gone to Nottingham Forest, as you saw. James Ambrose to Fulham, as you saw. We've also seen Jordan Millward go to Celta Vigo. And we also saw, actually, Dylan got released by Liverpool, because you'll notice he was assigned to Liverpool at the very beginning of the save. He wanted to beat Liverpool for the whole save, but actually, he got released by Liverpool, and as such was then a free agent and was signed by Sochaux Montbéliard in France. The ratings, I believe, are still accurate. Some might have gone up by about 1, but so far Not much changing there whatsoever. So that's where you guys stand on the Patreon. A number of you have moved a number of times, and those of you obviously that were at your chosen clubs have grown very well and are in the starting lineup. We've already played against Aiden and against Scott so far this season. Unfortunately for Dylan, we now won't play against him because he's left Liverpool. But Daz I expect to play against for Brighton. Barnes Cutter I expect to play against when we have Chelsea as well. And is there anybody else in the Premier League now? Yes, there certainly is, because someone moved to Leeds. Manu, I imagine, is going to be in the Premier League for Leeds. Will be surely starting in goal for Newcastle this season. And I expect James Ambrose will be in goal for Fulham as well, having moved there in the transfer window. Watford in our league. I'm not sure if Watford are Premier League or not. Thank you, Xbox, by the way, for the raid. I appreciate it very much. Unfortunately, I'm about to end, so I apologise, but I will pass on the love. Don't you worry about that. Watford are not in our league anymore. Watford are Championship. So Brandon, unfortunately, now a Championship player. But now we're at the end of the YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow for more.